Want to go on a field trip with me? Let's take a trip to learn about visual fields. Hello, I'm Yolanda and I welcome you back to the Blind Survivor's Guide. If this is your first time visiting the channel, welcome. And may I suggest you watch the first video titled The Blind Survivor's Guide intro video to get an appreciation for what you can expect from the channel. This video contains information on visual fields and is a follow-up to a previous video titled How the Eye Works. In that video, I announced that the follow-up video would be on visual impairment. However, since I posted that video, I realized that information on visual field and visual acuity were required to lay the groundwork for better understanding of vision and therefore how damage by disease and injuries can affect. So before we get started, disclaimer. I am not a doctor or a healthcare professional. Any information shared here comes from my personal experience or research and is intended for general understanding. For actual medical advice, always check with your doctor or a certified professional. So to reinforce what was just stated, it's true, I am not a doctor, nor do I play one anywhere. So let's get started. Visual field. Visual field. The total area you see when you look straight ahead. It's split into two parts. The central vision, the middle area where you look directly. It provides the sharpest details and best color perception. Peripheral vision. The side areas, which are better for detecting motion and general shapes, but not fine detail. To understand the process of visual field, we must start with the retina. Each eye has a temporal retina and a nasal retina. The red and blue bars show the visual field, which, like the retina, has nasal inner nose side and temporal outer temple side sections. The nasal portion of both eyes overlap, meaning both eyes see the same things in the central area. Light from the nasal side of the visual field enters the eye on the nasal side. It then crosses and hits the temporal retina, which then converts the light rays into electrical signals, which then proceed down the visual pathway, starting with the optic nerve, going to the optic chiasm, to the optic tract, ending in the visual cortex part of the brain for processing. Light from the temporal side of the visual field enters the right eye through the temporal side. It crosses and hits the nasal side retina, which converts the light rays into electrical signals, which then proceed down the optic nerve, crosses the optic chiasm, and continues down the optic tract in the opposite side, ending in the visual cortex. Light from the temporal side of the visual field enters the left eye through the temporal side, crosses and hits the nasal side retina, which converts the light rays into electrical signals, which then proceed down the optic nerve, crosses the optic chiasm, continuing down the optic tract from the opposite side, ending in the visual cortex. Light from the nasal side of the visual field enters the right eye through the nasal side, crosses and hits the temporal side retina, which then takes the converted signal down the optic nerve, optic chiasm, to the optic tract, ending in the visual cortex. Let's examine how vision is affected when damaged at different points along the visual pathway. An injury or lesion to the optic nerve of the right eye completely cuts off the signal. This causes total blindness in the right eye because both the nasal and the temporal pathways are affected before they split. An injury to the optic chiasm cuts off the signal to both temporal nerves, resulting in blindness to the temporal side of both eyes. An injury to the optic tract causes loss of vision on the same side, either left or right, of the visual field in both eyes. This is because the tract carries the signal to the temporal side of one eye and the nasal side of the opposite eye. These videos reveal that the world of sight and vision is complicated, intricate, and comprised of more than just the eye. For the world of vision begins with the light emitted from the environment, which travels through the eye and through the brain where it is processed. So, as we continue on this journey to learn more about vision, I'll meet you back at this channel. So till then, stay strong, stay safe. Take care of yourself because you are important. Please get your eyes checked. Early detection of a problem may save your vision. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like, and press the notification bell to be notified of the next video.